Thank you. So thank you for asking me to host. And I just want to ask your forgiveness because I'm nervous. And I've kind of written, a speech here. So if it feels like I'm reading it, well, I might be, but I just don't want to forget any points. So my name is Meghan McClenny, and I'm an Emerald on Whitney Ward's team. And I felt when I was, when we take turns in this rotation, my temptation was to be like, oh, I'm going to get somebody to talk for me. And actually, I did that a couple of times, and that worked out great. But I just felt like we can learn so much from each other. And I love Brene Brown, and she's all about being vulnerable. And so I thought if I just get real and tell you my story, then it's going to resonate with somebody that needs to hear it. So I'm just going to share mine. So I came to Plexus skeptically, like a lot of people, wanting weight loss and more energy. And 3 to 4 months in, I was taken off my blood pressure meds and antidepressants, which I thought I would be on for life. And I felt like paying attention to what I was eating, and I felt like exercising, and I started sleeping better, and all of the things that you have all experienced as well. And so then I lost weight. I got down to high school weight, and we've all been taught that that's the answer to everything. And so I quit. And I thought I got it from here. Thanks for the jump start. I'll probably feel just as good if I start my day with a big old glass of lemon water and I take some probiotics from the drugstore. And so that's what I did. And immediately back on blood pressure meds. And within 6 months, the depression was back with a vengeance. And my husband asked me to go back on Plexus. And he had been Mr. Skeptical. And we were a single income military family living overseas. My husband was an E6, so not an officer. We weren't loaded. I was using WIC coupons in the commissary to buy our eggs and whatever. And I felt really guilty spending the money on myself. But I was delighted that he asked me to go back on. So I went back on, had a doctor's appointment 2 or 3 months later, and my doctor took me off my blood pressure meds and my antidepressants and said, I think you need to pick your supplements or your meds. And where can I order this for myself? And it was an aha moment. And I was like, oh my God, like I just got duplicatable results. People need this. The fan in my room is making a crazy noise. Sorry, I hope you can't hear it. Okay, so even though I happily bought all the things, and in the military community, a lot of people sell a lot of things. I happily bought all the things from all the people. I didn't want to be that girl because I was prideful. But I needed to get my products covered, so I started sharing. And I'll tell you guys, I would never have started sharing if I hadn't been exposed to the business information. My sponsor, Janelle, put me in our business page and I didn't know what it was. And so the highlights of that were popping up in my feed and I was seeing people earn cars and income. And I was curious and I thought, if Whitney can do it, I can do it. And so I was like, okay. And so I caught that vision and I was like, wow, it would be really nice when we're back stateside to not have to go back to dental hygiene. I'm a dental hygienist. And so I saw that that would be Emerald to make my dental hygiene income. And so I set my sights on that. And so I think that it's very interesting that like a lot of you have gone to college for something and you're a teacher or you're a nurse or a hygienist or whatever you are. And when you went to college, did you say, oh, one day I hope to be a nurse? No, because you made a committed decision to be a nurse and you invested time and money into becoming a nurse. So you were going to accept no other reality than becoming a nurse or a hygienist, whatever. And so I think it's so interesting that when we come into this and we say we have a goal, we're kind of like it's more than a wish than a goal. So I would encourage you to get really clear on what the number is that you need to make your family comfortable. And if that's replacing your income or going past that, figure out what it is and don't accept anything less than that and keep working until you get there. Because I had a belief, a rock solid belief in the products and I had never done sales before, and I had a lot of hangups around that. So I'm going to talk about that. But I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I believed that I could. So I did. And so then I got to Emerald, and guess what happened? I didn't go any further. I've been Emerald for not quite 2 years, and what's happened is a little above and a little below and a little above and a little below and then a lot below. And I was tired of the hamster wheel. And so I, like a lot of you, I read a ton of books with my highlighter in hand because I feel like if I read it with a highlighter, I'm going to get it even more. Sometimes I write things down. I invested and took coaching from other jewels because I was like, surely they must have the magic formula. They must have the magic message. They must have the magic system. And if I can just learn that, man, I'm golden. And none of it changed anything. Like I took those classes and then I even went to a therapist, you guys. I'm no stranger to therapy, having battled depression for like 20 years. I'm no stranger to therapy. So I went to this therapist and proudly told her, I'm not depressed, but I'm upper limiting because I'd done all this reading, right? I'm like, I'm upper limiting and I want to excavate that crap and stop holding myself back. I know I'm holding myself back. I don't know why. And I need to push past that. And so I went to her for several months and paid a lot of money and got nowhere and nothing changed. And so I started like searching for answers. And I will tell you, like, even as a jewel, like I made it to jewel. But even as a jewel, I struggled with reaching out. I never did it consistently. I'd get really brave and muscle through it and do little spurts of it. And then I'd be like, oh, I struggled with follow-up. I would be like, oh crap, I haven't checked on that person. And I would avoid my virtual office so I wouldn't have to see their names, so that I wouldn't have to reach out to them and find out they didn't like it and they were quitting. Those were the stories I was telling myself. So maybe you resonate with that. So my follow-up was kind of crappy and inconsistent. My reach outs were super inconsistent. And I struggled with posting. I struggled with posting a lot. So I would tell my team, just put it out there and trust that it's going to reach the person that needs to hear it or see it. But yet I struggled to post. I was like, overthinking, playing the overthinking game. And I didn't want to annoy people. And I didn't want to screw up the algorithms. Oh, I think it's best to post at 8 and I missed 8 o'clock. So I'm just going to wait and post tomorrow. Like all the head games, right? And so um I'm a Christian. And so I went for a walk and I can tell you exactly where I was when this convicted me. I was walking and I was praying like, God, help me to be bold with posting. Like, help me with this. Like, I know what to do and I'm not doing it. Help me to be bold. And what came to me was I felt like he asked me, who are you serving when you don't post? And I was like, oh, I'm serving the haters. I'm catering to them and I don't want to cater to them. And then I was like, but wait, I'm also serving my ego because I'm worshiping likes and comments. And you guys, we are not called to serve ourselves. We are called to serve others. And so there are people that need this information that if we don't post, like they're not going to get exposed to it. So who are you posting for? So I've gotten off of my notes a little bit, so just forgive me. But so despite the discomfort in all of this, I was coachable enough. My belief was strong and I just decided to keep going. And I wanted to find a way off the hamster wheel. So I started searching and I started hopping on, how like different mindset coaches like offer free whatever. So I started hopping on different ones and I came across this one that was like sales coaching. And I have, like I said, a lot of hangups around sales. And so I got on this sales coaching and I was in a Zoom like this with people that sold everything, like heavy equipment, insurance, real estate, like all kinds of different sales. There were a few people in network marketing, but most of them sold other things. And so everybody was there. I really enjoyed because I felt like I was in this room with like high performers who really wanted to grow. And what we were taught was this: sales is service. That's it. It's service. And it sounds so simple and basic. But if you want to increase your income, you need to find a way to serve more people. So you're thinking, I want to serve more people, but they need to order before I can serve them. Maybe. But is that actually true? Can you serve people who aren't ordering? Can you serve people who used to order and stopped? Can you serve people who are ordering and you haven't served them in a long time? Yes. So I began to fall in love with the idea of service. And like I said, we are not called to serve ourselves, we're called to serve others. So then my brain got working and I was like, how can I elevate my level of service? Write that down because that was like really pivotal for me. How can I elevate my level of service? And so my brain started offering me solutions and my energy went up and I started going to bed feeling like I'd helped people that day and I slept better. True story. Because when I felt like I wasn't showing up for work the way that I wanted to, it would like, I'd feel shame and I'd try to push it away and numb it with other things, whether it was Netflix or a glass of wine or whatever to clean in the house, whatever distraction, like I'd try to push it away and promise like tomorrow I'm gonna rock it. Today wasn't good, but tomorrow, man, I'm gonna rock it. And so I started going to bed content. And I realized, and so I started like thinking of ways that we could elevate our level of service. And I realized that, like, for example, our team page was a page where people didn't really interact and they weren't asking questions. And so I chatted with Carol and Jen and Whitney and the other Jules on the team, and we decided to create a space for that. And so we asked the golds on the team, the golds and above, everybody to take a day and do a post. And we're going to post 5 days a week. And it makes these VIPs feel like VIPs. Now we're like, we got this place that we created just for you. And you're going to be here with other people who are starting out and ask questions because other people are going to have questions. We're doing giveaways, whatever, to keep the engagement. Excuse me. But I love having the golds have, and we could do a senior silver, whatever, but having those people take ownership of what they're posting and giving them kind of, we gave them some guidelines like, oh, we could do testimony Tuesday or whatever, but allowing them to really take free reign because they might be really passionate about a certain product, or they might see a testimony that jumps out at them, or they might see that the last few posts haven't touched on such and such, and they want to fill in that gap. And so what we're doing inadvertently or maybe purposely is creating leaders, and we're allowing those VIPs, those new VIPs, to see their sponsor as a leader so that everything isn't just coming from Whitney War or whoever, and so that felt good. So that was like one little solution that my brain offered me. And then I started asking myself, like, who in my downline doesn't have support? Because we all have people who have started the business and then they've stepped away for whatever reason, whether it's head trash, life events, whatever. And so I was like, oh, like, so I went to a coffee shop and I made a list, and I have it here somewhere, but I called it Love Like a Level 1. And so I have these names because I can't remember all of these people. And some of these people I've had conversations with. And so like I can go back to them and say, hey, I know, I'm just going to name a name. She wouldn't mind me naming this. I know Dawn's been super busy and traveling in this last year, and she's probably checking on you, but just in case, I just wanted to touch base with you. And it's been cool because some of those people, then I can start kind of taprooting and getting them to share and get their products covered. So like, just people want to be seen, loved, and heard, right? And so if they if they're just never contacted, do you think they're feeling seen, loved, or heard? And just one touch point can make such a difference for somebody. A name popped into my head one day, and I sent this person a voice message, and I was like, and I don't even think she's ordering anymore. She's on again, off again, one of those people. And I was like, hey, Amy, I just saw you post about your daughter finishing basketball. I can't believe she's graduating. I was just thinking of you. And she messaged me back that day, and she's like, I don't know how you knew, but I had the worst day at work, and I just needed a friendly voice. And I love that you were loving me, whether I'm doing plexus or not. And it felt like service. So if you can fall in love with service and take action when that name pops into your head, how many times a day does that happen? And you're like, oh shoot, I got to check on this person. Tomorrow, man, they're going to my calendar, and tomorrow I'm going to reach out to them. No, not tomorrow. Pick up your little phone and send them a 30-second voice clip. I'm thinking of you. Or own that you haven't checked in on them. Oh my God, it's been forever. I feel like such a jerk. Like, how are you? You know, whatever it is, just take action, because I feel like that is God prompting you. So honor it and don't put it off until later. Like, it takes 30 seconds. And so the more you serve, the more your income goes up, even when you serve for free. It all comes back to you. And so even when somebody wants to quit, I help them cancel their account. I help them close out their account. Even when they want to order less, I help them figure out the best way to do that. And I'm hoping some of you, probably all of you, do that too, but don't avoid that. And don't be afraid to have that conversation. One person told me, she's like, oh my God, I was so afraid to tell you I wanted to go to 2 ProBio 5 because you had me at 4. And I'm like, no, dude, like, that's smart. See if that keeps you where you need to be. And your body's going to tell you if you need to go back up to 4. And she's like, oh my gosh, I use these products from this other company, and she shamed me so much when I wanted to cut back. And I'm like, I'm sorry. But, anyway, we can serve people, even if that means like meeting them with less. Just serve them. It will always come back to you, and serve those quitters, because I was a quitter. So maybe that's easier for me because I 100% get it. And I'm just like, you'll be back and I'll be here. And so anyway, so then I started thinking about so if I'm serving my VIP customers better, like doing this and coming up with ways to do this, and always thinking of that, it's really makes it fun in the morning. Like, who can I serve? Then I was like, oh my gosh, how can I serve my business builders better? And I was like, I see Barb on my screen. I was like, what's Barb's goal? And I was like, shit, I don't really know her goal. And I felt like a jerk, but our goals change as we go. I'm like, Barb, what's your goal? And so, then we map. And I'm telling you guys, it wasn't because of my conversation with her, but Barb was on fire last month. Fire. So when you focus on other people's goals, I said shit, Carol, I'm sorry. I am, yeah, I'm okay. Sorry. So anyway, when you focus on other people's goals, then you win. You guys know that. And then I started I started leading a book study, because a lot of us struggle with mindset. So I was like, you guys, this book was really impactful for me. Well, you want to study mindset? Sunday night, I'm going to be on at 7 o'clock. Anybody wants to join me? And so that's been really cool, and to get their feedback. So, after shifting my belief around sales, I wake up and I ask myself a few questions in the morning. Who can I serve today? How can I elevate my current level of service? Does your follow-up need revision? Because mine does. I don't even have Plexus Go in there. So, I can improve that. Like, what can I improve? And who can I make feel seen, heard, and loved? Have you ever gotten really great service someplace and you're like, that person totally got me? And like, who can I make feel that way today? And what's my user experience like? That was another question I asked myself. I did this one coaching program, and like, they loved on me hard until they got my money. And then they helped me a little bit, but the user experience was kind of a letdown. So I was like, oh, interesting. I don't want my user experience to be a letdown. I want it to be like the start of something. And quite frankly, sometimes I would like love on somebody a lot, send them a lot in the first week or two, and then I totally drop the ball. So like, is my user experience a letdown, and how can I improve that? So I started printing spreadsheets so that I could work from them and like my love like a level one and not forget people. Um, and I'm going to skip this part of my thing. Sorry, looking at my notes. So I'm going to go back to posting for just a second because posting is also service. So I had to ask myself and I still struggle with this, you guys, but I have to ask myself, would you want to know about a sale? Because sometimes we don't want to post about a sale because we're like, oh, I'm just making it about the sale and about me, you know? Would you want to know about a sale? Because I would. Would you want to read a testimony of someone that you would relate to? Yes. I stalked Whitney in Testimony Tuesday. I stalked her for 9 months. I read every testimony. Did you want to know what the income opportunity really looked like? I did. I wanted to know what was possible. I wanted to see other people doing it so I knew it was possible for me. Did learning a fact about gut health help you? I battled depression for almost 20 years. Can I just tell you the relief it brought me to know that 90% of serotonin is made in the gut and that I wasn't broken and that my gut was just out of whack? And I was like, oh, that's all it was? Like that brought me, I had so much shame around depression. And I was like, it made me have compassion for myself. So if we can provide that for somebody, like who are you posting for? And so I had two other major mindset shifts that I'll touch on briefly because they've been really pivotal for me. If you're struggling to find and create business builders, then one thing that helped me was to realize that I wasn't just here to sell products, and that I would needed to sell the idea of freedom from financial strain. And not only that, but anybody that's ever been to a Plexus event knows like Plexus people are good people. And so I needed to also sell the idea of you've got a seat at the table. Like this community is amazing. And I needed to sell that the family, the Plexus family. And so I think and for many years, it took me 5 years to get to Emerald. For many years, I was very product and very science focused because that's what helped me so much. And that's what spoke to me. But I honestly now think I was missing out on 2/3 of the people and 2/3 of what Plexus has to offer. So if we can make that shift, I think it will be easier to post. It's easy to post about the community, but let's face it, sometimes it's hard to post about the business because you don't want to feel braggadocious or, and money is kind of a hard thing to talk about. So, but if it offers hope to somebody, then hey, and if it changes a family's life, okay, I'm willing to be judged by, negative Nancy down the street. So, so that was one shift was we're not just here to sell products. We're here to sell freedom from financial strain and the family. And the other shift that was really, really pivotal for me, excuse me, was owning the fact that this is a business. Forever, until about 3 months ago, honestly, I viewed Plexus as this awesome corporation with amazing leaders. And I was just one person sharing about what I love. And that's how I viewed it. And as I have like worked on my mindset around all of this, I've come to realize, no, this is a business. Like I have an LLC, I have an assistant, like I have to pay taxes, like all of you. And so this is a business. And if this is a business, then the people like in my downline, they have families to support and bills to pay. So I have a responsibility to show up for work. This doesn't get to be a hobby then. Like I get to show up and know their goals and help them figure out how to reach them. So that was a helpful shift. And I mean, think about it. Like if I had a brick and mortar on Main Street and I only showed up some of the time, like my customers wouldn't come back very much. They'd go down the street to somebody who was there all the time. And this is no different. And we know Plexus products are way better than anybody trying to copycat us. So I don't want them to go down the street. So, so prior to making those shifts, I was showing up inconsistently, very inconsistently. And unfortunately, that's really duplicatable. Because if your team sees you showing up inconsistently, they're going to think like, this is how we do it. So, most of us have come to this because we wanted the products and we had zero sales experience and no leadership skills. And that's scary because it's all out of the comfort zone, and we all have big hearts and we want to help people and we want to be Jules because we want to support our families by working from home. But if we want to reach the next level of success and hold rank and grow, then we need to view this for what it is. And it's a business that we can take pride in and where we're always evaluating our results so that we can see where we can improve. And that to me doesn't feel like the stereotype of sales at all. It feels like service. So, so that's what I've got for you. And I don't even know what time it is. There's questions.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I have a question. I always have a question, y'all.
Yeah.
My question is so when you were like avoiding doing it,
Uh-huh.
what was the deciding factor of you pulling the trigger and hitting click, go, boom, let's do this?
Avoiding sharing the first time or like shifting my
Just
mindset?
just going and trying the products.
Oh, trying the products. Desperation. Yeah. And FOMO. And eventually, and even then, this was years ago. So it was like, you had to pay like $35 to join or whatever. And I was like, I'm not joining no vitamin cult. I'm going to pay retail. Doesn't matter what I pay because I'm going to get my money back. And I'm sure they're going to give me a really hard time when I ask for my money back. And I didn't want my money back. And then I realized I was I was going to say a bad word, but a total dummy, and paying more than I needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions, you guys? Ask away. Got any comments in here in our chat? Let's see.
I just want to tell Megan her hair looks amazing.
Oh, I got it done special for you. Thank you.
I think Datha has a question.
Yes, Datha.
I just had a comment. That was excellent.
Oh, thank you.
I was,
Because
I was getting up because some things that you were saying I was writing on my whiteboard. So I'm
thank
sure
you.
I have it to look at.
I'm a huge Datha follower, so thank you.
Ah! Well, I'm a huge
Yeah.
Megan follower. That was great. Thank you.
It gave me goosebumps on
Oh,
the things that you said. So does
Thank you.
anybody else have any questions? Any more questions? Okay, Megan, were we going to do a giveaway?
Yes, we're going to do. So I'm going to actually give away two things.
Okay.
And one of them, in the spirit of elevating the level of service, I'm going to give away something to everyone. The mindset mentor that I've been working with, she is offering a free 90-minute workshop on Saturday. So I will share the link in our group chat and you guys can just share it. Actually, I might be able to bring it up and share it in the chat here. I didn't think about this. Shoot, I'll have to send it to myself. But anyway, she has helped me so much because I went to her and I was like, told her what I told the therapist, like I'm upper limiting and I want to get off this friggin' hamster wheel. And so she has been coaching me using material from Bob Proctor. So if you don't know who Bob Proctor is and you're curious, go to YouTube. He was one of the main guys in The Secret. And he studied mindset for 50 years and he helped companies like Prudential like quadruple their sales. He didn't even finish high school, you guys. And he built a multi-million-dollar company, and it's all mindset training. And so it has really helped me make these shifts and get excited about serving people and have my brain working about ways to do it. And so if this is something that speaks to you and something that you've struggled with, like, zero pressure, but 90 minutes on Saturday at 10 Eastern Standard Time. So that's for everybody. And then I will do a giveaway. I have two of my favorite books that Bob Proctor kind of has led me to. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I don't know if any of you have ever read this. It was written like in the 1930s, and it's meaty. And so you get your highlighter and you read one chapter and you process it, and you can read it over and over and over. People study it. Bob Proctor read it every single day of his life. His son read it to him when he was in hospice. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's
Ooh,
amazing.
wow, goosebumps.
So Think and Grow Rich, and then the other one is Lead the Field by Earl Nightingale. And that's what my team is doing right now on Sunday nights. And it's really going to help you with sales. And that one's easier to digest, but also very good. And actually, Bob Proctor worked for Earl Nightingale for many years. He got to start with him. So I will find the link and send it to you guys for the 90-minute workshop. I'm going to be on it at 10 o'clock on Saturday. And then let's draw, what do? We pick a number?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Okay. So I don't know how many people are on here.
Yeah, let's do, because we have some jewels on. So let's do like number 1 through 38.
Okay, let's do number 35.
Okay, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 33, 34, 35. Okay, Heidi K.
All right. I know Heidi K's info. Message.
K.
We'll get her in.
Can we just take a moment of and just acknowledge we have a gentleman on our call? Aaron, I guess this is Aaron. Is this your husband? So can we just say we like our men to join? I don't know if he's ambassador or not, but bravo.
He's a
Bravo,
VIP.
bravo.
He's a new VIP.
Oh, yay. Okay, bravo for that. Yeah, you've come to the right place. Come to
True.
the right place.
Can I just say really quick, thank you to Lisa for organizing all of these, because we all get so much value out of it, and she does all of the legwork. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's like one of my favorite nights and one of the favorite things that I get to do. So, all right. So we're going to close it out next week. Pay attention, because we'll have the graphic for that, and I'll send out the recording to your leaders, and you guys can get that when we're finished. So have a great night, guys. Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.